Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is take two of the Sleep Tip Tuesday. The last one cut out on me. So hopefully this will work. I'm in a different browser. I hope you're all doing well and I hope you had a nice weekend, especially those in the US. If you got to enjoy a Labor Day weekend. My family actually went backpacking, so it was my 5-year-old son's first time. And there was some whining and crying, but it was all way worth it. We went into the Wind River Range, which is amazing. And we survived, although I'm a little tired now. Okay, this week I want to talk about sleeping pills and how to get off sleeping pills because I know that quite a few of you are on sleeping pills and would rather not be. And I want to start by saying sleeping pills are really a band aid. They aren't getting to the root of why you can't sleep. Now, I'm not judging you if you are on sleeping pills. I know it can be tempting to take something if you're desperate. I know how much it sucks not to be able to sleep, and especially as weeks and months and years go by. So I totally get it if you have resorted to taking sleeping pills. There's no judgment here. But I also really want to tell you why it's so important to get off of them if you are taking them, or not get on them if you are considering taking them. Because I believe they're going to make things worse for you. They aren't good for you, they're addictive, they're toxic, and they don't give you real sleep. Now, medication for sleep does have its place. I mean, if you're going through an acute stressful time or dealing with trauma or something like that, then yes, that is an appropriate time to take them. But they're not meant to be used long term. They even say that in the little fold out that you get with them, that they are not for long term use. It's interesting too because studies have found that sleeping pills don't actually work. There was a team that analyzed 65 different studies that compared a placebo to these sleep aids. And they found that even though people thought that they fell asleep faster and slept more soundly when they took a sleeping pill, that they actually didn't, according to their brain waves. Pretty crazy, huh? Now, another problem with prescription sleep aids is that they actually sedate you. They're not giving you natural sleep. They affect the cerebellum, the same part of your brain that alcohol affects, and they target the receptors that stop your brains from firing. So that's how they knock you out pretty much. They produce an imbalance in chemical signals and decrease the time you spend in REM and deep sleep. So you aren't getting all those restorative benefits of sleep. And here's one thing that shows how. So your brain is an important part of memory. Or sleeping, sorry, is a really key part of remembering things. Your brain is supposed to cement new memories during natural deep sleep. And when you take a sedating drug, this doesn't happen. Actually, the opposite happens. So another study found that this was on animals, but found that when they took Ambien, that they had a 50% unwiring of the connections that had been formed during learning. So not only was their brain not learning new things, it was actually unlearning them. It was pretty much erasing the learning that happened. That's not good, right? That's why so many of us have memory issues, which can be from sleep deprivation, but also from these sleeping pills that you might be taking. Now, if you can't sleep, then your body isn't making these feel good chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and melatonin like it's supposed to. These sleep aids mess up your brain chemistry and make it even harder for your body to make those chemicals. And these drugs also put an extra burden on your liver, which is already overburdened in many people with health and sleep problems. So I see this in many of my clients that their liver can't handle all the toxins that it's supposed to deal with. And then when you add a pharmaceutical drug on top of that, that's just adding to that burden. So that's how it makes things worse. Some of the side effects of sleeping pills include brain fog, difficulty waking up, so that hungover feeling, groggy feeling, high blood pressure, memory loss, which I just talked about, and even strange unexplained behavior. And sleeping pills can make you have that hungover, groggy feeling because you spend less time in deep and REM sleep. So you aren't getting that restorative sleep that you're supposed to. Now, again, sleep aids are addictive. You're going to need to take more and more for them to continue working. This is like other drug tolerances, like cocaine. How you need more and more of that same drug to get the same high. It's the same thing with these pills. The receptors in your brain become less sensitive to the drug over time. And this is why when you stop taking them, you can also experience withdrawal and rebound insomnia, which is going to make it even harder to quit. So it's easy to get caught in just taking these forever, because not taking them also sucks for a period of time. Now, if you have sleep apnea, these pills are actually more dangerous for those with sleep apnea. It found that people who normally have 2 to 18 apneas a night have 100 a night when they take a sleeping pill. And that's because these pills relax the airways. So it makes those apneas happen more often. There was a study from 2012, but I just read about it, that found that sleep medications increase the risk of dying by 4 times and the risk of cancer by 3.5 times. And what's really scary is that these outcomes were found for taking things short term and sporadic. Excuse me. And sporadically, even just taking 18 pills a year had these same effects. It's really scary. That's why I think it's so important that I'm telling you this, even if you don't want to hear it. So the reason you can't sleep isn't because you're deficient in Ambien or some other sleeping pill. So to get off sleeping pills, you want to address why you can't sleep in the first place. What's going on in your body that isn't healthy, that isn't functioning properly, that's keeping you from being able to sleep normally. And some of the most common reasons for that are hormone imbalance, an unhealthy gut, high cortisol at night. So those are some of the basics. And I use functional lab testing to find out what's going on in your body that isn't working properly, so we know what to correct. And then once we start correcting those and restoring your health so that you are able to sleep normally, then that's the time to start weaning off sleeping pills very slowly, so you don't have withdrawals, to really minimize any rebound insomnia you might have. But this is really the only way to be able to sleep normally again without needing these sleeping pills. And that's restoring your health. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to message me, and I will see you in the group.